OpenBar Season 3. We back like we forgot something, y'all. Hosted by Snoop and Millz. Watch as we sit down on our first episode and conduct this amazing interview with the Chi Code herself. Chi, founder of Cash Only and the Illuminati movement, as well as a current member of Team Sparta and on the road to becoming a gold wing barbarian. Find out how she got started in calisthenics, from joining the world famous bartenders, and the ups and downs she's encountered in her calisthenics career so far. So sit back, relax, and tap in with the Chi Code. Chi, let's go.
Cheat code, Illuminati, cash only. Yeah, I know.
So already, so we wanna get to know you a little better through this interview. You've been you've been in the game for a very long time. You have a very dope story, and I'm glad you came in on our program to put it out there. So Mills, kick us off, bro.
So, Chief, like, what got you into calisthenics in the first place?
And when did you start?
So I always been athletic. I used to play ball all my life until I got to high school, and I kind of just like fell off. And then when I went to college, I was working out, but I was mostly dabbing into like weight training, trying to see, what worked for me. And then one of my boys, go by the name of D Mac. Shout out to him, Coach Get Right. He's from
fire name.
Yeah,
Coach,
yeah, right. Get life, get
Shout out
life.
to Coach
That's
Ray.
that's a movement. But he's from Harlem, and when we was in college together, he's one of the first people that I seen do a muscle up. So from then, I was a little interested, try to learn, how to do it. And since then, I was just researching like calisthenics, doing little things. I was still going to the gym because when I went to college, I was in Queens College, and I had a couple friends that we used to go to the gym. We used to mix weights and calisthenics together. And then I kept getting hurt or like not seeing the results I wanted to. So that's when I looked more into calisthenics. As far as I went to my uncle and I asked him because he's like cut up. My uncle was like cut up. He don't go to the gym, nothing. He always works out in his room. So I asked him like, I need some workouts. Like, so he put me on. He told me to look up bartenders, and I asked my boy D Mac because I know he's from Harlem. So I asked him about bartenders, and he was like, "Yeah, they cool people. Check them out." So
what would you say this? What year are we talking?
this is 2011.
So 2011. So 2011, your uncle preferred you to go towards bartending, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a little side story. When I first met you and you introduced yourself to me as Chi, I'm like, I know this girl.
Right.
I don't know from where. But then I realized you went by the name of Earth back then. So tell us more about the Earth name. Is that something you came up with or someone gave you that name?
Yeah, I came up with Earth. My grandmother's poet name is Earth. And she's also into like natural remedies, natural healing. She raised us like that. So that's where the name came from. I felt like it fit me because that's something I'm into now even more. And I'm just like my grandmother. So
that's right. You gotta keep stuff alive through
right.
generations. So 2011, you inquire with the bartender. So tell us how you get in, and you're living in Brooklyn at the time, if I remember.
Yeah.
So you're commuting to Harlem.
I was still in Queens College. I went to Queens College from 2011 to 2013. Around 2012 is when I met up with Giant, and since then it was like history.
Okay, so talk about some of the things you did while you were in bartenders, because bartenders at the time were one of the most professional teams out there. You were teaching in schools, you were doing workshops, you're performing at events.
Yeah.
So talk about that experience, because you went from trying to learn a move to being part of one of the most prolific teams, the original teams, the originators.
How old was you at that time?
I don't even know. That was what, like 9 years ago, maybe 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So
early 20s.
Yeah, I think somewhere around there. I can't do math right now, but
say 24.
So wait, what was the question?
What did it feel like?
Oh, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, when I inquired, I didn't know anything about bartenders. I didn't know like exactly what they do. I was literally just looking for people to work out with. Like, and when I looked them up, I see in their site come up on their YouTube. So I went to the site, and then when I went to the site, there was an application. I filled out the application. They called me back like I think the next day.
We had an application.
Yeah, it was an application. I didn't know. I just put my info in, and I was like, all right, let me see what this is about. You know, everybody's saying that is good. So I put my information in. Giant contacted me. I went to go meet up with him. We went to the park, the famous park on 145th and Lenox. That's their home park. So I went there, and he basically just wanted to see what I could do as far as repping out. And he asked me to do some pull-ups, some push-ups, and some dips. And once I started working out with them, it was like every week type of thing. They had like a practice, like 2 practice days. I think it was Saturday and Sunday. We would all meet up and just work out. And then they started introducing me to like events that they do. And most of it is community events, like for either young children or elderly people. So we used to work in schools. We did a couple of events with Nike. And a lot of different celebrities like rappers. So
this is around like 20.
Yeah, this is from 2012 to about early 2015.
Okay.
So.
All right. So would you say that? Were you scared of that because you went from not doing calisthenics to on the map?
It was crazy to me. Like it was an eye opener because I didn't know that side of calisthenics. I didn't know that there was like a business side and people were getting sponsorships and working out with, stuff like that. So that just opened my eyes to it. And then working in schools, like it was cool. That's not what I was looking for, but it was something new for me to do, and it was something I liked doing anyway. So I just went with it.
So working with the kids and everything.
Yeah, mostly working out with the kids.
Gotcha.
For the most part.
Okay, so your tenure lasted. I know we spoke in private, but around 2015 is when you left the team.
Yeah.
So 2015, where did you go from there?
So basically, 2015, a lot was changing in my life. Like I lost my job, I lost my crib, and I had moved. I moved to Philly for like a couple months. Then I moved to Delaware for a couple of months. Then I came back. So once I came back, I started working in a gym, and that kind of got my spark back, being in that setting. But, going through that lifestyle transition, it kind of like messed up my flow. I kind of lost all motivation.
Yeah.
I stopped working out. I didn't have a job. I didn't have money. Like, it was just depressing. So,
what year was it when you came back and you went into the gym?
That was like, because I started working for the post office like around 2016, I want to say. 2016 or 2017, something like that. And working for the post office is too demanding. So I literally was I was working day in, day out, not working out, just literally just chasing the bag. And I realized over time that chasing the bag was not it. My health was declining. Like I was just not looking good. Like people used to ask me, like, "Yo, you all right?" Like, like I was looking crazy. So once I got laid off from the post office, which was 2019, that's when I started to start doing my own thing. I always wanted. In 2015 is when I started my brand, but I really couldn't like embark on it during that journey because I was working so much. So once I got laid off, I went full throttle with it, start working out again, and I hit up Shredder.
Okay, Shredder.
Yeah, I hit up Shredder. He was one of the people who I looked up to because he was vegan and he was doing calisthenics. And that's something that I believed in. Like I was plant based. I've been plant based since 2013.
Okay. So a side question, you said you plant-based in 2013, but you started calisthenics in about 2011. Did you notice a difference in your performance switching your diet?
Yeah, I had a lot more energy. Like the energy was the first thing I noticed. Like I used to wake up in the morning and just pop up. I never used to be tired. I would be ready to go. I feel lighter when I work out. I didn't feel sluggish, less inflammation. But this is things that I know now. Before I just knew that I was feeling good. I didn't know why. I was just like, yeah, this is great. Like I'm ready to go. Like come on, what we doing every day?
Okay.
So maybe I need to look into that diet. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So 2015, you said you reached out to Shredder. 2016-ish.
It was like 20. It was like 2019 or 2018. I think it was 2018 before I got laid off because I was trying to get back into it. Me and my brother, we was the only ones working out together, and that would be every but so often. But then when I got laid off is when me and my brother, we took the plan that Shredder gave me. He gave me a meal plan and he gave me a workout plan, and me and my brother was just doing it was like a 2-week plan. So we was just running that back and forth.
The same brother that introduced you to calisthenics.
No, my uncle.
Our uncle.
But my brothers.
Okay.
So in between, you left bartenders in about 14, right? 2014,
15.
you said? 2015. So that's a 3-year gap. You're not working out, period, in this 3-year gap. You're just at the post office slaving your life away.
Slaving.
So that was like a depressional
Yeah,
phase?
it was just like survival. I was just literally getting up every day going to work just so I could pay my bills.
And then they laid you off, and you basically said thank you.
Yeah, that was the best thing that could have ever. Right, basically. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. Then I was able to really focus on myself, and that's what I wanted to do anyway. But I would get off of work and be so tired that I didn't want to work out.
Yeah. So you said 2018, you're inquiring about getting back into the calisthenic community.
Yeah.
You had your experience with bartenders, but you expressed to me that you were more focused on the craft, not so much of the community work, because it's the juggle of working on yourself as opposed to working for others. So who were some of the people you reached out to now that you were trying to get back into the game?
Yeah, so I was on Instagram, or I'm just looking at everybody's pages, and it's good to see. It was good to see because I wasn't on Instagram before, like every so often, but I wasn't on there putting out workouts or even for that matter looking at anything. Like it just completely was out of my life. But then once I started getting back into it, I started clicking pages and seeing mad different new faces and people still working out in the parks. I'm like, yo, that's good. Like so I seen Irv, Bam.
So Irv's Fitness Journals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bam, and I forgot the other dude's name, the African Nigerian dude that used to work out with them, but I was watching them and I seen how they was in the parks. They had put up something about that they was gonna meet somewhere, like just have like a nice little group session. So I reached out to them to see if I can, come out. They was like, yeah, come out, and then I just ended up not going out. I forgot what was the reason, but I just didn't go.
Okay.
So,
all right, so going from there, right? Because now I'm going to get into when I met you. You ended up reaching out to Zeph of Barbarians to inquire about what made you decide. Is one thing to say you want to get back into the calisthenic community, but joining another team is another ballgame. So what was your motive coming in? You just wanted to be around. Like, what was your purpose of joining a team as opposed to just working out again?
Yeah, so I'm a team player. And, I don't care what nobody says, we all need people. You know what I'm saying? You can't get anywhere by yourself. Especially if you want to get there and last. You know what I'm saying? You can get somewhere by yourself, but you can go fast. But I was like, I want to get into another team, but I just don't know who would I fit in with. So I knew, when I was bartenders, I knew of bartenders, of course, Beast Mode. And I knew of Zeph, but I've never met Zeph. And I've never met any barbarians that I know of. So that kind of, I kind of was like, I feel like to me, like those are like the 3 top people. That I knew. So I started looking at pages and I'm looking at workouts and YouTubes, and it just made me hit up Zeph because I seen how humble and how great he was and how much of a thing and how low key that kind of reminded me of myself. Like I like to be elite, but not too, like showy with it. You know what I'm saying? Basically. So I hit him up and I literally DM'd him and was like, yo, how does one become a barbarian? And we were just talking from there, and he directed me right to Snoop.
Yeah. So for the people at home watching, she reached out to Zeph, and this is around the time I just became a Goldwing Barbarian. So the protocol is I'm considered the gatekeeper. So if you are trying to become a barbarian, you have to talk to the last person that became a barbarian to figure it out. So the part that really struck me the most when I first met you was you didn't ask me not one question about working out. And that was so unique to me. Because you just asked like how close are you with your teammates? And I'm telling you, these are people that, like, I went to school with. I've known 12, 15 years, and you asked, do we hang out? And I'm like, yo, this is cool. Like, that made me give you a chance. Because no disrespect, I get a million DMs a day about how do I get pull-ups?
That's why I was
how do I do push-ups better? And it's just like,
I was surprised that got to me so fast. Because I was just like, wow. Like, I know he's a busy guy. I'm pretty sure, like,
that's actually a sign.
Right.
He doesn't answer nothing.
I know it. That's how I took it.
I got 2 words out of him in like 4 years.
Nah, but that's destiny though, because he said it. Because he normally doesn't check them, and at the time he had his phone in his hand, and it came, and something told him to respond immediately. So that all of that is God's plan.
Yeah, because I didn't know like of you until Snoop introduced me. He was like, yeah, this girl, she's strong. And I'm thinking to bring her around Sparta, like do a little session with you. And then I was like, oh, okay, sorry. When was the first time you had to link up with Spartans?
We linked up in.
Well, she linked with me first.
Yeah.
It was just us two. Because it turned out we were in the same area, so we went to a local gym, and that's when, like I said, I'm just speaking on my part. I'm looking at the DM. She doesn't have a picture. So I don't know who I'm talking to. I know I'm talking to somebody, but I got manners, so I'm responding, I'm talking, and I'm like, who is this? And then, because she accepted me, we set the link already, and then she accepted me so I can see her page. So when I'm looking through the page, I'm like, yo, she looks familiar. Where do I know her from? And then it clicked later, like, oh, shit, this is Earth. But she didn't introduce herself as Earth, so I'm not going to say, hey, Earth, didn't say what she said to me. So, speak on that. So we worked out for the first day. So we worked out
the first day. I got to the gym, see Snoop. In my mind, I'm thinking, like, he about to be some brolic. I'm like, he a barbarian. I gotta. So when I get there, he's just looking like Bruce Lee. Like, small. We get to the bar. I'm like, all right. So I'm seeing her rip. I'm like, yeah, okay, I see why he's barbarian. Like,
so
can't underestimate.
And I'm gonna put you on. The first time I link with somebody, I'm trying to kill them. I'm trying to. Yeah. Like that's the purpose.
I was trying to hold on, like while we working out. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna keep up. I'm trying to keep up, like. Yeah. But I'm like, nah, I got work to do. Damn, like.
And plus, when I realized who you were, because I started in late 2014. So I used to watch your videos from about 2012. So I'm like, this girl got experience. She doing muscle ups before I could do one. She might embarrass me out here. So let me make the routine something crazy. So I remember we did a 5MD. We did the 50 pulls and 100 push.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what that is. We're going to do a 5MD. I'm like, what's that?
I don't remember the other routines, but I remember that you didn't quit. That's the most important part.
So annoying. I was keeping up. I was like, I'm not stopping until he say we finish.
Because we have a thing where we want to see if you return. If you come back.
After we come back. Every day. I'm like, yo, nah, this is it right here.
Yeah. This a lot of people see us coming and fake phone calls. Yo, what? You need me, Mom? Yo, I gotta go. So I'll catch you next time. So I definitely give you credit for sticking through it, and obviously it has shown because that workout was intense, and it was just me and you. So your rest was when I go, my rest was when you go, and and I remember you sent me like a paragraph after, probably 2 paragraphs, like, yo, I've never felt like this ever. Like, what the hell? But it seemed like, yo, when's the next link? I need some more of that. So that's when I put y'all on. Like, yo, I met this girl today named Chi, this and the third. Because another thing for the record, I want to make it clear, Team Sparta is a sub-branch of Barbarians. So me being a Goldwing Barbarian and in charge of Sparta, if we do a referral system in Barbarian, so if you want to be a Barbarian, you have to be referred by someone.
Yeah.
So for Snoop, my personal rule is if I refer someone, they have to go through my ranks of Sparta to qualify to become a Barbarian. That's just for the people at home that thinks it's two separate teams. It's two teams under the same umbrella. They're the big brother, we're the little brother affiliate. So
just to clarify.
So just moving forward now, you know, I introduce you to the team, which is comprised of females. You know, Sparta has a branch. We have Spartans, which is the guy branch, and we have a branch. We have 9 females that have their own team. So is that something that you knew about, or
I didn't know. I didn't know like about any female calisthenics teams at all. I didn't know. I don't know too many females that work out like that. So for me to come in Sparta and see how many females was getting busy, I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Like I fit right in.
Yeah.
Like.
So talk about your experience with that when you first met some of the girls. If I remember, you partnered with my wife, Nikita.
Yeah, the first time.
Y'all did a push-up routine together, and then you eventually met like the Lettys, the Pages, the Trishes. So just talk about, like, were you aware that females were, because you was always a female on a male team. You worked out around males.
And there was a couple females, but it wasn't like reps and sets. Like, being in Sparta was the first time that I've been introduced to that type of working out, like style, like reps and sets, straight endurance,
1,000 push-ups,
1,000 push-ups, 500 push-ups, pull-ups, like stuff like that. So when I did the first routine with Kita and we did the belt, I was crazy. Like,
classic introduction.
Yeah, like I remember feeling like muscles that I never knew you can work doing push. My neck was sore. Like this whole, I went home. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like,
for those that don't know, the belt is a Barbarian push-up routine where it's partnered, so we go at the same time. There's no rest. It's essentially as soon as you get off, we switch till, you know, it's a crazy number. You know, look up some of the belt routine videos on YouTube if you wanna see what the routine is about. So
I was surprised when I did it with Keita. Like when I'm looking at Keita, I wasn't thinking like, yo, this is. I'm thinking it's about to be like a girl workout.
Yeah,
but when I'm seeing her do it, I'm like, wow, like
that's the Spartan motto. If we don't change the workouts for females, it's the same. If it takes you longer, it takes you longer. Right. But you're doing the same thing.
Exactly.
So you just know what to build on from there.
Yeah, exactly. So I seen it firsthand with Keita, and then me and everybody else, and seeing that they're the same way. I'm like, yeah, this is crazy.
So I want to emphasize on, like I said, when you claimed you joined bartenders and it was an application process, but now that you're being introduced to the Barbarian style and the Team Sparta style, it's a completely different lane to get into the team. Now you have to pass a requirement.
Right.
So speak on how you felt when it came to that.
So the requirements is, I always thought, I knew about requirements before, like when I was bartending, because I knew about Beast Mode had requirements. And I like requirements. Requirements was like, I wanted to get to a point where I had to do a requirement. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like just to see, you know, the levels that you have to get to, or you have to be at a certain, you know, to be considered. But like doing the Sparta requirements, climbing that ladder is like, that's something I really enjoy doing. Like I would do the requirements all over again, because I'm Greek life. I'm part of a sorority, so they have requirements too. And I would pledge all over again if I had to.
Because in my personal opinion, I think teams should have that, because at the end of the day, you have to show, just because you work out and I work out don't mean we're in the same level.
Right.
Same thing with you, Millz. It's kind of like a requirement shows you that you're up to this specific level. Because like I said, me personally, I can eye. So if I see someone doing a video, I can tell from their first rep who your influences are.
Mm-hmm.
If you push a certain way, oh yeah, you watch Barbarian videos, or if you you into EIB, you know, so it's almost stamping your style, your thing, and like I said with Team Sparta and Barbarians, because a lot of people don't know this, Barbarians is the first team that made requirements. You know, everyone kind of followed suit, because before it was just kind of like a clicks, you know.
That's
so like I said, we personally adapted that style, of course, following the model of our big bro, but you know, we have Sparta and Team Sparta. Team Sparta is who represents us in competition, and we want you at a certain level, you know, and we've took it to another level that no team has done yet, where we have ranks. We have a bronze level, a silver level, and a gold level. So we actually had to make a new level for you because you surpassed our top tier for the females.
So when you took the Sparta requirements, your first time taking it, you aced it first time, or you
I had to build up, but
some people
I think when I first officially took it, I passed it. But of course, like when I first tried it, I failed. You know, so I had to build up, and then the day that we officially did it.
Because that's what I really look at. I want to see if you come back from the fail, or if you just give up. Because like even during your run, we're trying to be
with the BBR, yeah,
exactly.
It's mental endurance.
Yeah.
Are you in this for the right reason, or you just want to quit?
If I fail, I'm coming back. I love that.
But that speaks to your character. Yeah, a lot of people just only know win, everything my way. When things don't go their way, hissy fits. So just moving forward now. So now you're established. You're part of Team Sparta. Now you are going to enter the competition round. Because I say this a lot, in Team Sparta, even though we go into public with only 5-6 of us, there's 30 of us.
I'm still meeting people.
Yeah.
It's like cousins you meet.
Right, the whole family. And when I'm meeting people, these is not new faces. Like, these people have been around.
Yeah, we compete and we battle almost every workout.
Mind you, you're a year in. Still
facts. I'm a baby. I'm still a freshman right now. Like.
So let's speak about, because in my opinion, you are always, even from your bartender days, one of the strongest females I've ever seen touch the bar. So what made you want to step into a competition round to really test your craft against the world, to really test to see if that word is true?
Yeah. So bartenders, as far I can only speak for myself. When I was part of bartenders, they weren't into competing. It was just doing community events and doing things for kids and like elderly people. So there was no competitions. I knew about competitions, and I think we went to one competition, and it was I don't remember the name of it, but it was in Lincoln Terrace, and it was a muscle up competition. There was no girls there for me to compete against, so I just did it by myself. So, and that was the only like intro I had to any type of competition, and I really wish that there were other people for me to go against so I could get the real feel.
Yeah.
So now, you know, stepping into real competitions, like it's a brand new life for me, and I love it. You know?
Okay, so what was the first?
Sport.
What was the first competition you done officially?
The Boss Life. The Boss Life.
Winter Games.
Winter Games, yeah.
2019.
2020.
2020. So talk about that experience. Were you nervous?
Yeah. I was nervous. Like, I was definitely confident. But, of course, I was nervous. It was my first time. But when you hear that countdown is like...
Yeah.
So, went into it. Gave it all I had. Like...
And if I remember, you left with some trouble.
Got my feet wet, Got my feet wet. I did around the world body weight, and I did the weighted. And I took the weighted first place, and I got second place for body weight. And a couple little medals for like most pulls, stuff like that. So.
Okay, so did that experience kind of fuel you, or was it like I scratched the itch, I'm cool off this?
Nah, that definitely fueled me because it doesn't stop. It's a sport. It's like any other sport, basketball, you know. So, and I used to play ball, so it's just like that.
And that's interesting because you have competition and then you have bar brawls, which is one-on-one battles.
Yeah, I like that.
And you're one of the few that actually that have done both.
Yeah,
bar brawl.
the bar brawl was cool too.
Now, before we get to the bar brawl, I want to touch on something else. One, you're probably one of the most competitive people I've ever met.
You think so?
There's times where we finish a 2-hour workout, and I'm like, all right, we going home. Nah, let's do some more. So let's talk about That's Good Money. George, That's Good Money has a well-established platform of probably some of the best calisthenics athletes in the world. You ended up on his channel battling a guy, setting history. A female battling a guy, and you actually came out victorious. Not only once, but y'all battled twice. So speak about, like I said, this is history that is not spoken of enough.
Right.
So talk about how
how is it different from
I think the first that was my first that was my first one-on-one, and we did 5MD twice in one set. And I forgot the other set, but it was like, I'm not gonna say it was a cakewalk, but it was something, you know, it was something that was kind of easy, but it was really fun to do, and I was looking forward to doing more one-on-one competitions. I like that because it's like iron sharpening iron, and it was real cool. It was against Swaggerooski.
Shout out to this big Swaggerooski.
So he's really cool, real humble. Really great sportsmanship. So
talk about the difference of, because you've done the 5MD before. By the way, I should touch on that. You're the first female to complete 50 pulls and 100 push in under 5 minutes.
That's dope.
So the fact that now that you can go, what's the difference between you doing it against the clock and you doing it against someone else that's trying to do it faster than you? Is there a different urgency?
Not really, because when I'm going against anybody, I'm still going against myself. Like my own time, you know, I practicing it, training it over and over, trying to beat your own time. So it's just like I'm trying to beat my last time that I just did.
Yeah.
So you don't even see your opponent.
Yeah, you can't really worry about other people, but you know, as you're battling, of course you worry about them, but you still trying to beat your best time at all times. Because I feel the way we train, I feel like my time is the best time. So I'm trying to beat my best time.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna get into the bar brawl.
Yeah.
So you're coming off your first competition. You know, you've climbed the ranks of Sparta. Because like I said, we have a bronze.
You climbed it fast.
You kill that.
Yeah,
we have a silver level. You kill that. We have a gold level. We also have these 3 levels for men, which is a different requirement. So for you, we had to make another level of Sparta women that is the bronze level of men. So the fact that you were able to pass that puts you in a category completely by yourself. We had to name a new rank after you, Diamond. So now all this momentum, all this success, you're going into your first bar brawl. So were you aware of what the bar brawls were before you signed up for them?
I never knew what a bar brawl was until I got with you guys, but it was, I seen videos and it's intense. It's very intense.
So for those who don't know what a bar brawl is, that is our version of Fight Club. It is an intense one-on-one with about 60 to 70 people screaming at the top of their lungs. It is a very... Millz is 2-0.
Yeah, I'm mixing yours before I even did mine, so I got to see firsthand. Like, it was crazy. I love it though.
So talk about your preparation for it, your experience during it, and everything.
Yeah, I think I had like maybe like a month or 2 months to train for it. So training for the bar brawl, as the time is getting closer, it's getting more intense. The anticipation is building up, so you know you're getting more nervous. But you know you try not to second guess yourself. You just train. You do what you have to do to get to where you need to be. And when I was training for it, like I said, trying to get my best time every time, just trying to beat myself, and getting there that day at the Barbaro, feeling confident. Once that countdown come on, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Let's go. You can't stop after that. So that was my main thing. Don't stop. Keep going. Try to beat your best time, and that's it.
How did you feel during the training? I know me personally, because the Barbaro routines is like it's like 2 routines in one.
Right.
Yeah.
You're really working out for like the
shout out to
10.
Doc, man, because Doc be trying to kill people with those routines.
And you're really working out for like 10 minutes straight.
Yeah.
If that, maybe 9, 8 minutes, but straight, no breaks at all.
And I know me personally, training for it, I was like, what did I get myself into?
For real. It's really taxing on your mental.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even about the physical. Like it really taxes your mental like 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental battle all the way. So doing that, training for it, and worrying about like regular stuff you're going through in life, like it's a lot. And if you working while you're trying to train for it too, oh man, that adds a whole nother element. So stuff gets in the way, but that Barbaro, that routine, what you want, the outcome, that's the goal, and it's like you keep your eye on the goal and you just try to get over those obstacles, and then when that day comes, you be so happy to get it over with.
So here's my next question. Mills don't know nothing about this because he's 2-0 in Barbaros. He's in the winner's circle for the Barbaros. But unfortunately, you ended up taking a loss that day to a very talented athlete. Shout out to Sydney Alexandra.
Shout out, man.
So did that loss make you hungrier, or did it make you, man, I'm over this? Like, what did it do for your morale?
It was, the first thing I thought was, I beat my time. That was my best time.
Your practice runs.
Yeah. So I was very happy about that. So I was very pleased with my performance. But of course, I'm never complacent. I know that I have more work to do. Always. So I'm just trying to get better. That just made me more hungry. I just want to keep getting better. I'm ready for my next one.
Yeah.
I'm like, tell me the routine now. Like,
there's always work to be done.
Yeah, for real. There's always work to be done. So that just boosted me up even more. Because really, it's really no losses. We both went hard. It was crazy.
That was by far one of the top 3 battles I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That
2
was
females, because if I remember, we had 2 female battles that day, which is already a record. Y'all have muscle ups in your routine. Y'all doing it with grace and ease. So
and you were the main event.
And you were the main event. Exactly. So I really wish we could bottle and sell that attitude you just had, because that's what will make the sport grow. You came off the loss, you handled it well.
You was there all day. I was just like, I had ants in my pants. I'm like, come on, man. I'm gonna go first.
The weight gain is crazy.
Yeah, it's anticipation. It's anticipation. So now you had your Barbaro. If I remember, that was late 2020. Right?
November, I think, or October, I think it was.
So let's fast forward to current events. So now, just this past weekend, I don't even know when we're going to air this, but January 16th and 17th, you competed in the Boss Life Winter Games event again, which is the anniversary now of your first competition. So talk about your preparation, and especially the last time the public seen you before Winter Games was you losing the Barbaro. So was that on your mind going into Winter Games, or how did that handle your preparation? Did you change your preparation? Did you go harder? What was your thought process?
So after the Barbaro, I realized that, and no disrespect to Winter Games, but I realized after the Barbaro that the Winter Games is like candy. So I'm like, if I could do Barbaro and work out like that and give my all for like 9-10 minutes straight, I'm like, these 3 minutes, I'm about to smoke these 3 minutes. I'm about to get the best 3 minutes of my life.
You said that at least 50 times.
Seriously. I'm like, this is just 3 minutes. And I'm like, it's just reps. So, you can't let it get to your head. So that wasn't even on my mind. I'm just like, this is about to be easy. So I just gave it all I had, trained just like we trained for it last time, trained that way, and of course I got stronger, and my main goal was to beat my last year numbers again, going against yourself. So.
And if I recall, last year you did about 40. They clocked you for 40 dips. You ended up with what, 62, 63 this time.
Mm-hmm.
You finished with about 19 pulls. You finished with about 26 this time.
Mm-hmm.
You finished with about 30 push-ups. You finished with mid-50s this time.
Yeah.
So you beat last year Chi by like 30
Right.
plus reps.
Last year she is not with me right now, right?
So with that being said, like I said, there's still a long way to go, but how does it feel being at the top of the mountain? Because now everyone is gauging you.
Yeah.
Everyone is chasing you. You're the one with the most to lose. Does this affect your training? Does it increase it? Does it, like, what goes?
Yeah, it makes me feel great because I know what it comes with, being the champ, or however people want to see it. People are gunning for you now, so people are going to study me. People are going to try to figure out what it is that I'm doing, try to find my weaknesses and my strengths. So I already know that I have to fill all holes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to beat the Chi that's right now.
I especially like the versatility in you as a champion, because Barbara is like, it's a big routine. You can start off losing and you can come back.
Word, very tricky.
The competition is 60 seconds. It's like no room for error. You have to give it all you got in 60 seconds. Because you blink your eyes, it's over. The run is over.
For real. For real. It's
so
very different.
It's different styles of competition that you've been doing. Barbara over the battle, and so I respect that.
Okay, so with that being said, what's next for you? What's next on the horizon?
Pushing the brand, pushing the culture, rising to the top of my team, man. Team Sparta, we got so much coming, and we still got so much work to do, and that's the main focus right now, is to keep going. And
so you see the shirt that I decided to wear today. When you gonna get you one of these?
All that gold, man.
All that gold.
When you gonna get one of these?
I'm working towards that. That's what all of this is for. Like, everything that I've been doing is helping me get to where I need to be, up to those physical standards, So I feel like divine timing, man. When the time is right, I'm gonna give me some gold too.
Gold wings.
And I'm gonna give me a gold tooth to match too.
Because there's only one female barbarian in the world. Her name is Dasha. She's out in Ukraine, I believe. But that is a title that is very sacred.
Yeah.
Very sacred.
I know.
So for you to earn that would put you in uncharted territory. So, like I said, catch us up on some of your current events. Like, so tell us more about Illuminati, Cash Only. Like, what are these brands?
When I created Illuminati and Cash Only, it was basically for myself, and it's basically just health and wellness, brand fitness, because that's what I love to do. And when I started to come out with like products and just being interested in herbs and natural healing and stuff like that, because I told you I was raised like that. So I have books that my grandmother gave me that I've read. So that pushed me. I'm like a more self-taught. I didn't go to school for herbalism or nothing like that. So just learning about it, being self-made. I healed myself first, and that's when I was at my lowest. And Illuminati and Cash Only, at first it was called Earth Strong.
Okay.
Yeah, so Earth Strong, a way of life for all walks of life. So it was called Earth Strong, a walk, and then I changed the name over time. But I created it ultimately for myself, to heal myself, to bring myself up to a level to where I can do that for others. And that's always brought me back to balance. Every time I feel like I'm not feeling like myself or feeling down, this always brings me back to balance. And that's where the logo came into play, because I'm an artist too. So I draw, I write, do music. I'm into the arts. I'm an artistic person. So that's where the whole Cash Only and Illuminati thing came together, as far as health and creativity. As Cash Only means create art, stay healthy, obey nature, and love yourself. And we all know that health is wealth. So that's what that means. And then Heal Illuminati breaks down to be Heal Umi Nati. Umi means mother, Nati means natural. So Heal Mother Nature. And when I say Mother Nature, I'm not only talking about the environment. I'm talking about your body too. You know what I'm saying? So you heal your Mother Nature.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire. So where can people find you?
Instagram is Heal Illuminati. And my personal page is cash only, and then I have a website that's linked, Illuminati.com, and you can find everything there, my art, my videos, everything.
No doubt,
Products.
no doubt. So Chi, we want to thank you for sharing your dope story with us. Y'all heard it here first on Open Bar, the story of Chi Illuminati. So once again, I want to, close out this podcast with some of the things that we have combined. From Team Sparta, we're launching the website now, so a lot of our apparel will be for sale. We are teaching, so we have Spartan Camp, which is going to start in April, so all levels, beginners, intermediate, advanced. If you want to take yourself to the next level, join our family. We're really trying to change the game through action, not words. And of course, we have March Madness coming up. March Madness is going to be a very, very intense competition, probably one of the most intense competitions to date. I'm hosting it myself. I'm making the routines myself. I'm making you sign a waiver that says if you die, it ain't my fault. So I hope to see a lot of you there. Chi will be in the building. Millz will be in the building. They will be in action. So looking forward to seeing you all there. So this is another episode of Open Bar. Millz, we did it again, bro. Dope episode. Chi, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank y'all, man.
Cut and print.
Open bar.
Open bar.
Open bar. Open bar. Which fucking go? I'm sorry. The pop to the nugget? Oh, damn. Is it a pop? Smoke to the nugget?